about now? Is it better now? We could try this and see if it works. I'm going to put the mic up and see if you guys can tell me. Is it better now? We could try this and see if it works. I'm going to put the mic up and see if you guys can tell me. We could try this and see if it works. I'm going to put the mic up and see if you guys can tell me. We could try this and see if it works. I'm going to put the mic up and see if you guys can tell me. We could try this. I'm going to put the mic up and see if you guys can tell me. One of these days, we could try this. Going to work. I'm going to put the mic up and see if you guys can tell me. This. I'm going to put the mic up and see if you guys can tell me. This. I'm going to put the mic up. There's a visual today. Okay, what about now? Is there anything now? And I want to see if it's going to work. Okay. OBS. And I want to see if it's going to work. Okay. All right, let me go into the live OBS. Okay, you could hear me now. Oh! Yay! Wait, I think I have sound. I have sound. Hold on a second. Let me go into the live. Okay, you could hear me now. Oh! Yay! Wait, I think I have sound. I have sound. Hold on a second. Let me go into the live. Okay, you could hear me now. Oh! Yay! Wait, I think I have sound. I have sound. Hold on a second. Let me go into the live. Question for the people in the chat. Do you hear one of me or two of me? Because I'm hearing two of me, but that's all right. I don't mind if I hear it and you don't. As long as I hear that and you don't, I'm okay with that. Do you hear one of me or two of me? Because I'm hearing two of me, but that's all right. I don't mind if I hear it and you don't. As long as I hear that and you don't, I'm okay with that. So now, okay, what about now? What about now? Okay. So now we're going to get this right. People, at least last week, we didn't have anything going on. Last week, it was a bust. I'm going to give you guys a second. People, at least last week, we didn't have anything going on. Last week, it was a bust. So now you hear two of me. So just let me know in the chat. I know that there's a delay, so I don't want to start anything until there's just one of me. I hear only one of me now, so I'm kind of thrilled. Let me tell you, this has been like, this is getting better though, peoples. I'm telling you. I'm going to grab my notebook. I was about to do a Dora the Explorer. Let me go. Oh, awesome. All right. I'm telling you. I'm going to grab my notebook. I was about to do a Dora the Explorer. Let me go. Oh, awesome. My handy dandy fat notebook. And no, nobody is telling me to go do this, but I'm not getting paid. But I love these fat notebooks from Five and Below because it's fat and it has 3 areas, and I use like one notebook like for everything, and then later on I just go still two. Five and Below because and it has 3 areas, and I use still like two. One notebook like for everything, and then later on. Okay, I'm gonna try something out to see if. What about now? I swear, this is gonna work at some point. Try something out to see. At some point, it's gonna work. I just hear my mic, one of my mics, and I don't hear anything else. So now let me know. At some point, let me know if you still I just hear my mic, one of my mics, and I don't hear anything else. So now let me know. All right. But somebody's saying that there's still two of me. Tengo hambre. All right. But somebody's saying that there's still two of me. You know, I forgot my tea today. Delayed, but two. Crap. All right. We did something, but we don't know what we did. We did something. All right. I don't know how to do this. Lock volume, filters, properties. Let me see. Properties, speakers. Okay, so the speakers. Lock volume, filters, properties. I'm going to try something. Okay, so we're going to do the Synaptics. And for this mic, we're going to do the Rodecaster Pro. Okay, so now I'm going to go back into the chat. You get 2 shows for the price of That is the most awesomest thing. All right. So I tried something a little different. Let me know. I know there's going to be a delay for you guys while I'm opening my notebook and grabbing a bite. Tengo hambre, people. I'm trying something else to see if it worked a little bit better. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go test something out. Let's see. I'm going to go over here. Bendito. One of me and one in the background. That's awful. All right. Now, let's try this. I think this is going to work. I think what was happening is that the live was playing also out in the background. Now, let me know if you can hear me. Okay. This is crazy. This is called the Lucumi Visión podcast edition. I've been saying that crap for years. I should start a channel called Lucumi Visión with all the madness and all the sancochos that are going on. All right, so has this been fixed now? Yes. All right. People, it's been over 20 minutes, I think. So what I want to do is I want you to tell me whether you hear, I think it's going to work. I wanted to, hold on a second. Like I said before, I don't re-listen to a lot of my podcast episodes, and I should probably, but like I feel the ick factor. I don't know why, but I do, and I. The only one that I've heard at least 3 times has been episode 100, because quien me manda a mí estar inventando. Cuando yo estoy inventando, then I created that entry for it. So I'm going to play something for you guys to make sure that you guys can hear. Let me know. And I'm going to wait a bit. So it's going to be the start of an episode. And I'm going to have to. All right, I'm going to pause it there for a minute, and I want to go back to the live so that you guys can tell me whether you heard that intro. And I'm going to wait while I take a bite and my notebook in hand, because that's how we roll. So y'all heard it? I don't want to play because I'm having it set up a little differently. So no, you did not hear the intro. I'm hoping it works. If not, we're going to hang out again till I figure this crap out. It worked. So I know that it is possible. me go back to OBS and see. Okay. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to play this. All right. I think we may have solved the issue.
You're listening to the Orisha Wisdom Podcast, episode 62.
All right. I'm going to go back to the live because I think we may have solved it. It's probably going to come back on. You'll see. Awesome. So let's get started. Así, vamos pa'l grano. Okay. So what we're going to do as we are all hanging out, there is an issue that I've had. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay, perfect. And that's where you should be at on YouTube. That's perfect. Okay. One of the questions that I have had over and over from the beginning, Orisha Wisdom started in 2017. And one of the questions that I've heard over and over is the story of, and we're going to get raw in these conversations. And I'm trying to be careful, but there's no way to be careful. I find that a lot of my brothers and sisters, not only African Americans, but Latinos, anybody, YT, that they are easily scammed by people from Africa. And I have many, 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 many thoughts about this. I have seen how people travel to Africa, and when they travel to Africa, then they come back with all of these things, and then guess what? They don't know how to work with any of the things that they now have. And I feel that when you're so hungry for these traditions, when you're so hungry to be part of the community, when you're so hungry for Orisha, when you're so hungry to connect to your roots, the deep, deep, deep dive roots that you have, when you want to start healing from what happened with slavery. I mean, that was disastrous. For anyone in the Americas, that was a disaster. And what I have found is not that everybody that is from Africa is bad. So please do not be like, listen, Babalao, she's saying this. No, that's not what I'm saying. But there are a lot of people that are scamming because they have realized there is a market in the United States because we are hungry for what they've always had over there. And we here in the States had to transform it to something totally different in order for us to function. And this is one of those episodes that I think are going to have to be recreated again and again because not everybody has heard all of the 100 episodes or 102. By the way, 103 is coming out on Sunday. I'm still working on it. I'm going to be recording it. It's almost done, and we're going to be doing it in pieces, but oh my Lord. Anyway, so I wanted us to revisit episode 62. And I'm going to be playing a lot of things over there, so I want you to listen. We're going to pause it so that we're able to discuss together. But I'm finding it that nothing really has changed. Nothing has changed. People are still, hi, the ancestors have told me to tell you, hi, your Orisha has a message for you. And when you are looking, dude, you are going to really listen because you're hungry for this information. All right, so I am going to let me know when you guys are ready so that we can start listening to this episode now. Just write down on the chat, I'm ready, and that way I know we're ready because we want to be ready. All right, so we're going to start right now.
Welcome to the Orisha Wisdom Podcast, where positivity and spirituality create an enhanced life's journey with the wisdom of Ifa and Orisha. I am your host, Iya Omileti Olubumi.
Remember, that was my ultra name back then. Just saying. Call it Ocha. Welcome to the Orisha Wisdom Podcast. I am Omileti Olubumi. Thank you for spending some of your time with me to talk about all things Orisha, spirituality, and growth. So, turn up the volume in your car. This is a good one. Put on your earbuds. Let's go on a walk. Let's exercise. Let's take a break. Let's chat. This episode is being brought to you by Olubumi Creations. If you love Orisha things, if you love anything. By the way, Olubumi Creations has said its last goodbye. It's now your spiritual things. Reason why I was supposedly also initiated into the Egungun traditions and my name was Olubumi. And since that is heavily in question, I decided that the best thing would be to do is to take that all out and just to start over. And that's why I have your spiritual things on Etsy. Anyhow, thing about Orisha, this is a place to go. You can get art prints with your favorite Orisha. You can get demu plates, so you can have little offerings and you can put your offerings there to your warriors if you have them, to your Orisha. You can get these wooden beautiful wall hanging things, and a lot of people have sent me pictures of them because they come with a little hole and you can put a little string on them and hang them. But a lot of people put them on easels in their house or they hang them by their Orishas. So there's a lot of things, and thank you to all of you who have started to basically order up a lot of the jewelry. There's still some left. I still have some metal for the rings, for the Orisha rings, like say Yamaya, Ogun, Obatala, Ochosi, what Ifa, Orumila, whatever you want, it's there. There are 2 sizes, several fonts. So get them because when they're done, I don't think I'm going to do them again. But in the meantime, they are available. And you can get the information on how to get all of that by going to the information link, www.orishawisdom.com/Iya Omileti. It's now /Yvonne. This is an Ask a Priest episode. For those of you who are first listeners to the Orisha Wisdom podcast, first of all, welcome. This is a series that we have where you, the community, gets to ask questions that you've always wanted to ask an Orisha priest. And now you have the chance. I'll put it on the show notes on how you can ask your burning question for a chance to get your question answered here on the podcast. But if you must know right now, just go to www.orishawisdom.com/ask a priest. No dashes, just ask a priest. With that, let's get this episode going. April asks, I like this question, by the way, so get ready because we've talked about something like this, stuff like this, but the question hasn't been quite asked. So I'm so glad that she took the time to ask it. Here you go. Why do people of the Orisha religion want to scam people in the name of God and their ancestors? Why do so many Africans want to scam other African Americans? Whoa. That was my first reaction because it's a direct question. Thank you so much, April, for asking this question. And I have to tell you, you're not the first one to ask. If we look, before we get into just a piece of the answer, this isn't anything new. Why do TV evangelists want to scam somebody? Why do pastors want to scam? Why do gurus of whatever, yoga, spirituality, whatever, there are always scammers in every tradition. Just because this is Orisha based doesn't mean that it's exempt from the, possibility of scamming people. So let's just kind of see it that this is a human thing. It's a people thing. People are going to try to get over, and they're going to try to do whatever it is that they want to do. So don't just think that it's because an African wants to scam an African American. It's not just about African Americans. They'll scam anybody of any color, any race, any whatever. So it's not just that they want to scam other African Americans. And I don't think that there's any loyalty to the melanin in the person's skin on the other side. All right, now this is not going to be an exhaustive list, like a complete episode on this, because this can be expanded into who knows how many other reasons. That's the word that I was looking for. Couple of things. Back then, I don't even know how many years. Let's say, I'll say a good 30 years, 30 to 40 years ago. Let's just be safe. 40 to 50 years ago, it was just in the West, Lukumi, Voodoo, right? And Candomblé. Isheshe wasn't even a thing. That wasn't even a word that was used. People just knew it as traditional. And it was over there in Nigeria, the end. There was no, really, it was very rare, if somebody went over there to get anything from there. And I'm just going to have to keep saying Nigerians so that I don't keep saying they, because there's a lot of they that I'm going to talk about. Nigerians at that point, they felt that it was what they knew, because we see it as something so special because it was kind of lost within the slave trade and the transition from Africa to the West. But they don't see it as that. It's just what is. It's just a way of life. It's not a religion. And some of them are still in the Yoruba ways, and they go to church. Although they've been fighting quite against that. That will be another interesting episode, because I'm flabbergasted because I don't understand. But I don't understand, which is why I am flabbergasted. They see it as this is normal. We get up, we do our prayers, we do whatever, and we go to work. And we come home and, oh, yeah, we're going to see the babalao. Okay, that's fine. So for them, this is just nothing special. It's just the way things are. I'll say were because I'm going to talk in the past tense. Because then people started to visit, ask questions. They started to come in to look. I'm trying to remember where I saw this, but I saw this in a forum, and this was, I think, in the Mi Gente. I'm trying to think. I don't think it was MySpace. I think it was Mi Gente. Somebody actually grabbed their money, their vacation, and they went to Nigeria They booked a hotel. They booked all the stuff. They got all their shots. They bought extra water, all of the stuff. They hired somebody from the hotel to kind of show them around and to translate for them, literally looking for somebody who knew about the traditions. So think about it. And yes, they did find it. It took a while, but because they were not very keen into strangers, but the stranger was willing to pay, and it helped that the stranger was of color. And so he went and he found something. So think about it. Now people are starting to visit, ask questions, to look, and then people are starting to go in there to initiate. So they're coming back, let's say, to the United States, to other countries. I know people in South America, Central America, who have done pilgrimages over there, and they have brought in their friends and family and all that stuff to go get initiation. So now, think about this. This is a place with an unseen amount of poverty, civil turmoil, and corruption. These three together has plagued this country for probably. I'm going to stop to here for a minute. That doesn't mean that every single person in Nigeria is poor. Anybody heard of Nollywood? I mean, they have homes, they have it's a lot of people that make really excellent money. But I just wanted to point out that this country has been going through a lot. And considering in the age of many of the countries, it's considered fairly new, all right? So I'm not saying that everybody's poor over there. I'm just saying they've seen it, and the reason why, because they've been in major wars, okay? All right. It's the beginning. And so I'm going to repeat them. Poverty, turmoil, like civil turmoil, and corruption. And they're seeing all these people coming in from the United States, from Mexico, from Venezuela, from Colombia, from El Salvador, from wherever. And they're coming in. Oh, and they're also coming in from Europe. So I know people from London who have gone in to look and to check. And what do you think they see? They saw an opportunity. They're like, wait a second. What's affordable for us here in the U.S. or even in the U.K., because a lot of people from the U.K., they deal with Nigeria as well. For us, it's, let's say, $40. $40 is really not a big deal. We can pay $40 for a reading, right? We can pay $50 for a reading. It's not such a big deal. We're not going to totally break the bank. And I know that sometimes things are challenging, and we're like, man, I'm short. But, on the most part, $40 is not bad. $100, $200, $300, $400. It's not going to kill us. But I'm just going to go back to the $40. Let's go 50. Nice number. So $50. That's affordable. But to them, it's a huge difference. It's a huge difference. It is the difference of living for a month and for buying groceries or, feed or whatever it is for them to live. So now we know that they see an opportunity. There's poverty everywhere. Yes, there are people who live, middle class and whatever, but this is an opportunity. People are looking. And even right now, as I am recording, people are going to be, how do we do this? Are you a priest? Can you read me? Can you help me? Who's my Orisha? So think about it. They have an opportunity. This is where we say, well, you have to exercise caution. And because we know that there are legit people out there, everywhere there are legit and there are scammers in every arena, in everything that comes to spiritual stuff. You're going to have the scammers in one side, you're going to have the legit people in the other. Why do I say exercise caution? Because it's going to be a really high level of difficulty of finding out whether the person that is on the other side of the screen is legit or not. I wrote down on my notes the following, and there are two things that I want you to look at when you get a chance. And this is for any of the listeners out there. There is a blog post. Out of anything that we have ever created, this post is the most visited page in the entire website of Orisha Wisdom. I will post it for you, and I have it here so that I can share it. If you really want to jump in and take a look while you're listening, it's orishawisdom.com/scammer-priests, and you go there. And it says how to recognize scammer priests online. Know before you jump. And you know you're in the right place because it's going to have like a danger sign. Somebody that's kind of hanging on, it was a good picture, like on a ledge, and there's a lion right below. And it says know before you jump. And this page was created, I think, out of frustration and anger, because we constantly tell people like, no, that's not right. That's probably a scam. No babalao ever should reach out to anyone else. That's not the way that it works. And we're trying to give the tools for people not to fall into the depths of scam world, but they still do. They either didn't hear this message, like they have never visited us, or they don't believe that what we said it's true. We discuss this in our Orisha Wisdom Community Facebook page all the time. Scammers. And they're like, well, he looked legit. And we have spoken about this before. And I just want to remind you that when you are dealing with somebody that, one, has not been referred, two, you have not visited their home, or three, you don't have the capacity to go there, even if it is on a quick flight or even if it is a 10-hour drive. That's a problem, because we really do not know what is going to happen across the screen. What they say, what they show, you don't know. And then if you're planning on initiating and growing, you don't know, because you're going to have to keep going back. And a lot of people don't really think that aspect through. And for fun, I am going to include on the show notes a video that I made. And I made this video in haste, but I'm like, you know what? I'm about to show what happens. And people will message you, and it's like the moment that they reach out, I'm like, scam. So the video, I'm going to pause this for a second. We are going to chat. We only got less than 17 minutes to go on the podcast. So here's the thing. I think we need to talk about, I was taking some notes. Like I said, I haven't heard this in ages. I don't even know what year this was made in. That's how long it's been. And I quickly started to write, a person looks legit. And here's the thing. Even back then, I still believe that there is a difference. Little did I know, I was living in my own scammer's reality. But here's something that I feel is the key to why a lot of us, Latinos, YT, it doesn't matter, African Americans, I don't care who it is, I think the allure for a lot of us is that we are looking for authenticity. I wrote that down. Search with, for authenticity. I remember back then, I was in my very early 20s, and I was very new to the traditions. And guess what? I didn't want to do anything lukumi, because lukumi, to me, was watered down. Now, people don't kill me. I'm lukumi now, very, very proud. I've been through quite some experiences. However, I feel that we need to have this heart-to-heart discussion. I am personally, right now, right this second, friends with many people who have been made in Africa, have traveled there. They have their elders there. This isn't to knock them. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the ones that give you this message out of the blue and you fall for it. Why do you fall for it? You fall for it because you've been searching for something and you feel that the matrix has found you, right? And once this happens, you open up, and all of the boundaries that, like, if somebody approaches you down the street and they tell you, hey, I'm going to help you with this, right? Like, somebody approached me for something. I don't even know what it was. My light bulb to my refrigerator, it just, like, it stopped working. No more light. So I had that damn light bulb in the car for like 2 months, I think. I think it was like 2 months, maybe a little less. And every time I'm like, damn it, I have to go there. So when I go there, somebody approaches me about some gutter. And I'm like, I think I'm good. And then he had all these things. Well, I can give you this. And I'm like, I just want the flyers so that I could research it myself. No, I have to put you into the system. And I'm like, once there's already too many, no. I wasn't looking for gutters. I was looking for that damn light bulb so I could see the food in my fridge. I don't need nothing else. But when you're searching for something and somebody messages you out of the blue, you are really thinking that, oh my God, they really know what's going on with me. And they must be in tune with something spiritual. And then we fall prey. And here's another thing that I'm going to tell you. Just because I wrote something down, where are they? Just because they were referred doesn't mean that they're good either. And this is one of the stances that I, as the creator of Orisha Wisdom, am going to completely now basically go back. Referrals are not enough. I am living proof that referrals are not enough. And just visiting their home also is not enough. And it's going to sound a little harsh. Like I said, I'm going to move this slightly over so that the light will be a little better. It's going to sound a little rough. But nowadays, that's not enough. They need to be properly and thoroughly vetted. Okay? So, with that, let's go back. If you are a subscriber to our YouTube channel, which is Omileti Alubumi, that's great because you can go there and check out the videos that are there. If not, literally, this is the title of the YouTube video: How to Know If Someone is a Scammer Priest from Nigeria. I mean, it doesn't get any more just direct than that. And I'm going to make sure that I post the videos go back so I can post the show notes so that you can see it going back. And a lot of people don't really think that aspect through. And for fun, I am going to include on the show notes a video that I made. And I made this video in haste. But I'm like, you know what? I'm about to show what happens. And people will message you. And it's like the moment that they reach out, I'm like, scam. So the video, if you are a subscriber to our YouTube channel, which is Omileti Alubumi, that's great because you can go there and check out the videos that are there. If not, literally, this is the title of the YouTube video: How to Know If Someone is a Scammer Priest from Nigeria. I mean, it doesn't get any more just direct than that. And I'm going to make sure that I post the videos on the show notes so that you can see it and you can see how things happen. Here's the thing. Why do they do it? We can say, of course, this is an ethical issue. We can get very philosophical on this, very philosophical on you should not do that in the name of the ancestors. You shame your ancestors. Da, 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 da. But we don't know at the other end whether this person will have enough to feed their family. And at that point is, I can't find a job. I don't know what to do. Or my friends have been able to do this. I want to be able to do this too so that I can make this type of money for myself and so that I can survive. We don't know the other half. Yes, it is an ethical issue, and we can go back and forth on this. Somebody told me very recently, let me see, I'm going to try to quote this. I don't care the emotional state of you, but you did this. And I thought about that. I said, yeah, you're right. I did do it. And again, the ethical thing. But would I have done it if this would have happened? No, I wouldn't have. So you have to kind of before, if you have the time, yes, you can study the social aspect and the socioeconomic aspect of Nigeria to understand what I mean, that they see an opportunity and people are seeking and they're like, yeah, I can make money. They go, wait a minute. Warriors in New York is $321 or $500.
Do you remember when Warriors was that much?
Do you know what $500 would do if I had it here? And it's like, oh my God, we would be able to fix up the house and get running water, or, whatever it is. It just opens up an interesting, window for them. And yeah, ethics are going to be questionable, but it may deal with survival of them and their family. So when I say exercise caution, I want to add another piece to that. Empathy plus caution. I'm empathetic. I really am. I'm empathetic to the plight that this country is having. I was born in Venezuela. Venezuela right now is, I don't even want to use the words that I'm thinking, but things over there are really, 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 really bad.
Before it really
it's like
fell.
People don't even come out with their phones because they're going to get stolen. People get, they can wind up at the end of
right
a gun
in front of me when
because they're trying to
visit.
get whatever it is. People are eating out of trash cans. When I saw that, my heart absolutely broke. So if you live in a place like this and there is an opportunity, would you take it or would you starve? And I know you say, no, not me. Omileti, I would never do that. Really? You get put into that spot and you open up an opportunity, you might put your ethics to the side because you need to do what you need to do. And so knowing that they are putting their ethics to the side, some of them may have money. I don't know, but or not. And there are other scams that go. I was watching a show where Nigerians, they had this dating scam and they would befriend these women, and these women would send them money, and when they would stop sending money, they would cut them off. And they had this really big list, and it was like a big, we don't know if this is now like that it's a whole organization of, try this. And a lot of people who have dealt with scammers, they tell me that after they block them, let's say on Instagram, they'll message them from another, like, you can't hide from me. And they have like 20 other or 30 other profiles that they are messaging you. So when you are dealing with someone, yes, we're going to talk just about Nigerians. Empathy, you know where they're coming from, but caution, because you have to protect yourself. The advice, I'm going to keep it because we have covered this before. We may do it again to revisit it. Stick to local. There are Isheshe priests everywhere. No matter where you are, they're everywhere. In the United States, there are Lukumi, plenty of Lukumi, plenty of Isheshe. There are, I know in the UK as well, as in other countries, there are people. So if you are, let's say you're in the US, I'm sure it's going to be a lot better to hop on a flight or even a 10-hour ride. It's usually not that much, but I'm just saying, to go to get the help that you need locally. And that's going to make a big difference in the trust factor. And when you're dealing with somebody in Nigeria, if you really want to learn from them, you're going to have to keep going back and back and back and back and back. So is that what you want to do? Also, do you always want to question yourself whether this person's a scammer? Deal with someone locally. And I'm about to say this, but don't roll your eyes and don't just shut it off. You will find what you need when you're ready to receive what you need. And people are like, oh, but I need it now. I am so ready and nothing is happening. And then I'll ask, I'm like, well, how long have you been looking? 4 months. And I'm like, oh, that's like a drop in the bucket. So have empathy. Yes, there are scammers. I think that they just saw an opportunity and they took it. And yeah, it breaks ethics, but if you were in a similar spot, would you take that too? Or would you starve? Or your family would starve? And maybe you wouldn't. Maybe you would starve and die, and your family and your children, because you were ethically correct. But at this point, they may not be. And then, speaking of ethics, then it may go beyond that, because it may not be now to starve, but they're like, well, my neighbor who's 17, he's doing it. He puts on his agbada, he puts on his fila, and he has his stuff, and he's making really good money. He bought his mom a house, or he fixed up her house. I could do it too. And then it becomes that. Exercise caution. Stick to local. It's not more original because it's from Nigeria versus the US, the UK, Colombia, Mexico, anywhere, Argentina, nowhere. It's not more authentic. There is array depending on, of course, if the ceremony was done right and the ashe of that priest. Just take the time to find someone that's local, and we can totally analyze the question. But at the end of the day, we have to be responsible for taking care of our. I'm going to pause this for a second. If in your heart you really need to go to Nigeria and this is your path, this is not me discouraging you. Sometimes people have to walk that path, and I just want that to be stated really quickly. That I don't want you to, but Yvonne said, please don't go there. I'm just saying, let's talk about this a little bit more. But if that is the path that you need to take, then take it yourselves. And also remember, it's not that Africans want to scam other African Americans. They'll do it to a white person. They will do it to an Asian. They definitely do it to Latinos. They do it to anybody, because money is green, and that is their bottom line when they are trying to scam. And they see there's a need. They see people are looking, and they're just like, all right, you want Ifa? Here you go. Send me $300 and I will tell you who your Orisha is, and I'll send you words, and I'll send you this. Whether they did it correctly or not, you're not going to get what you absolutely need from it. So have empathy plus caution. And that's what I have for this one. And I think that this is a good start to the conversation. I don't think this is, of course, an exhaustive response, but I think it's a great start. For anybody else who has anything else to add, definitely comment. I am looking forward to hearing from everybody. You have reached the end of this episode. First of all, April, I want to thank you for this question, because it made me think. It made me think beyond my my surroundings, and it's really good to kind of keep those things. So April, I want to thank you for taking the time to ask this question. For show notes, go to www.orishawisdom.com/62. I took a short hiatus because sometimes things happen, but I don't care that things happen. I know that you guys have been sending messages like, what's going on? Where is the episode? So don't worry. They're coming. They're coming. They're coming. I am going to do my best, no matter what is going on, to make sure that this is one place that you can come to get your Orisha stuff fixed. I want to let you know that I have stalled on this new thing that is coming. And I think that is mostly out of fear, but I am very, very excited at the same time. I am going to add a link on this. Actually, I'll do both. I'm going to do on my information link as well as on this show notes for you to get on the list for two things. One, if you are an Alejo, brand new person, and a Orisha who does not have a spiritual house, and you're looking and you're wondering about a community for you, this thing that is coming is going to be so dang amazing. And I'm going to add that so that at least you'll be the very first to know. And I'm going to add another one because Orisha swag is on its way. I have posted more than 20, I think it's 20 something things into the Etsy, and it's on draft because I'm so scared to just press, publish. But it's really dang cool to have T-shirts and mugs with the things that you enjoy about Orisha. And it's made by an Orisha worshiper for Orisha worshipers of the world. So it's coming. Just kind of go in there and just click on it, and I'll let you know as soon as it is available. So keep watch on the info link and listening to the Orisha Wisdom podcast or on YouTube, and be sure to whitelist my emails so that you are the first to know.
I lost that
email
list. We're going to have to start over.
This is sponsored by Olubumi Creations. So if you want Orisha-related art, Orisha jewelry, that is the place to go. I am really strongly considering maybe just doing the ideas, and maybe that's it. But whatever's there, get it, because some of the things, once they're gone, they're gone. That's it. I'm not getting it again, and you will have it. If you have found value in this episode, this content, and you want to support, check out my Patreon page at patreon.com/Iya Omileti, and you will have access to the podcasts before
I can post that as well.
They are published, and other perks. And if you want to hear about other perks, we had this call, and it was just for patrons, and we were discussing in depth not only one episode of the Orisha Wisdom podcast, but it was live, and we were all in deep conversation. And when I was younger in the traditions, I wish I would have just had that time. And on that call, there were two priests, so it was really amazing. It got really deep, it got very personal, and it was very vulnerable for everybody. And I thought it was truly amazing to get that done. And that's just one of the perks. And there was swag that was given to one of the patrons. So seriously, if you can and you wish to support because you have gotten something out of the Orisha Wisdom podcast, check out our Patreon page. If you also like this episode and you found it awesome to you and your growth, share this podcast episode so that someone else can get something out of it. And I would be so grateful if you got a couple of minutes to go over to iTunes and leave us a review. They really do help to keep us on the map, and it gives me the fuel. I read every single one, and when I read something, it's like, oh my God, this is awesome to know that someone is listening and they're sharing their comments, and I really, really do appreciate it. And if you're on YouTube, like the episode, subscribe and click on the little bell icon so that you will be the first to know when there is a new video uploaded. Stay tuned for the next couple of episodes where we're going to go, because I've seen an influx of questions on Ask a Priest coming in. So I'm like, dang it, I have to go in there and really start to answer some questions. So I can't wait. Until next time, may the elevated ancestors and all Orisha bless you immensely. Odabo.
Thank you for listening to the Orisha Wisdom Podcast. Be sure to check out the show notes at orishawisdom.com/podcast. Can't get enough of Orisha Wisdom? Check us out at orishawisdom.com and subscribe to our community. Remember, the wisdom of Ifa and Orisha is all around us. Be blessed, and until next time.
Well. I don't know how many are still over here hanging out with me, but I haven't heard that in a long time. I haven't heard that episode in years hey, I know who that is. Hello, Baba. I see you. This episode got to me because a lot of us have truly immersed ourselves in African-derived culture and traditions, which is part of our now faith. So again, for those of you who have joined in a little bit later, this isn't to knock anyone who goes to Nigeria to get anything. This is not about that. This is about the people that are searching for something so much, and then they get to see some weird message. Hi, dear. Hello, dear. The ancestors guided me to your inbox, and they told me that you must make Ocha. I don't know. You must have initiation. Like, that wouldn't happen. And I think we need to understand we need to be safe. And before, we used to say referrals are enough. I don't believe that anymore. I'm done with that. But I wrote a couple of things. I posted into the chat the how to know if someone is a scammer from Nigeria. I can't believe now I'm going to have to watch it. I didn't want to place, now that we finally figured out some of the technology. But we discussed ethical versus survival. And we may be like, but they scam me. But that scam may have fed them. Is it right? If you don't want to feed into that, even if it is going to feed someone's family, then you need to understand that you have to be careful. You're the one that has to be fully careful. You have to go with your eyes wide open. I've known, not just like on message. I've known people who have flown to Nigeria because they met someone, and within a couple of months, they were convinced that this was the way to go. And when they went to, they booked the flight, went to Nigeria, came back an Oba, a chief, and yeah, they had those plaques. Again, I'm not knocking them. I have a lot of people that I absolutely trust who have been there, gotten initiations there, but they've known who they've been working with. So here's another note that I took down while I was listening. We tend to look down on the local because we're starved for authenticity. And I've very much expressed my story on where I thought that Lukumi was just watered down. I've not held that to no secret. And funny enough, I landed in a place that said the same thing, which is interesting because now there are people who are Lukumi in there, and that's not said anymore, but I know very well what I grew up with. And here's the thing. I was explained by many priests over time, many videos, that the ashe from what happened in what turned to be Lukumi is strong enough. It understands the Middle Passage. It understands what we went through here through slavery. And when you go over there, they don't have such things because it wouldn't pertain to them. They wouldn't have a bóveda. They wouldn't understand the espiritismo mesa blanca. That's not something they would understand because they didn't have the same mixture that slavery brought to the Americas, to all of the Americas. So we are starving for authenticity. Meanwhile, what we have is authentic for us. It is our authentic, thing. Again, I'm not knocking anyone who goes to Nigeria. I have to keep saying this. We're talking about people who are not going in with their eyes wide open. I took other notes. Empathy. We have to have empathy. And at the same token, be aware. And that is going to be like a balancing act, because when you are aware, you won't fall into a lot of things where you may need to have some empathy to have to deal with the fact that you got scammed. And I paused because that may pertain to me too. Here's another one that I put: exercise caution. Being aware is one, but exercising caution, they're two different things. So I'm aware that there's a hole on the ground right there, right? Exercising caution would be walking around said hole. And why I put them separately is because many times we know that the trouble is there. We know that there may be a possible danger. And guess what? We go through it anyway. Like, it's not going to happen to me. Not at all, right? And there is ire here in the Americas and what was brought here as well. Like voodoo, the hoodoo that was born here. Candomblé, Lukumi, Santeria. All of that has ire because of how it was created and manifested here in the Americas. So we've gone a little over an hour. Although, if we really look at it, it's been about an hour since we finally got this dang thing to work. So at least I'm learning how to work the damn thing. So I'm kind of glad that we were able to do this. So hopefully next week, we are going to be meeting here. If you are not a fan, follower, subscriber of the channel, please just subscribe now. And that way, I'm going to be posting the next week's. I committed to 6 weeks of doing this and see how it goes. I'm going to be listening with you all past episodes of the Orisha Wisdom podcast. And interesting, because I'm learning as I'm going. And mind you, I said those things, and I guess I needed a reminder too. So I wanted to bring it up to the floor. What do what say you, basically? What say you? Do you have any comments about what was said? Do you... Actually, I think that's funny. I'm going to post this back into the group. The things that I do, which are crazy. So in the meantime, I am going to We're going to listen to some music because I know that there is a delay while I start seeing you guys' postings. And if you guys are not posting, I'm assuming that you guys are good and we can start closing this up for next week. So in the meantime, I guess I'm going to go through all kinds of stuff over here and see what we got. Huh. You know that I made an Alejo's guide? I have to now go take a look at it to see. And a lot of the things that I do, I actually pass by through my elders. So, yeah. Let's see. And I do have to rechange this. This episode is brought to you by Your Spiritual Things. Olubumi Creations has said its last goodbye, and Your Spiritual Things is here for you. Do you love Orisha and spiritual things? Me too. This is why I created a space which is dedicated to creating spiritual things, from original artwork, especially calligraphy and lettering pieces, which you can have on your walls, from the 16 Megis to sayings about the Orishas. How about having a great saying of your favorite art on a mug or a t-shirt? Because why not? There are cards, decals, Orisha offering dishes, which are all made per order by hand. And look out for limited offerings. There is something for many of the Orishas and spiritual folks. And if you don't see something, reach out and let's see what creative spiritual awesomeness we can create for you. Your Spiritual Things was made because going to a store to get something nice for someone in the traditions is hard, and there is too much of the same out there, like the same art over and over. Check us out by going to www.orishawisdom.com/Yvonne, and that is I, V as in Victor, O, N as in Nancy. This is Orisha art and spiritual art made by an Orisha worshiper for Orisha worshipers of the world with Your Spiritual Things. All right, everyone. So anybody else got comments in the meantime before we get ready to go night-night? I turn into pumpkins after a certain time. I just wanted you to know. And I am going to be sure, you know, my son, my 13-year-old son, he was like, Mom, is this available for replay? I'm like, I think so. And he had to go do all the clicking and the clacking and the whatever in order to make sure. So if there are no more comments, I would like to say, you know what? This has been amazing, but I would love to know, while we are still together, what your thoughts are about this topic. And I think it needs to be revisited because I took additional notes and people are still doing it. I think that a lot of people are a bit more aware of they are trying to scam me, but sometimes they're not. And those are the ones that they're going to get. And they're relentless. Again, we're not talking about the legitimate ones who have elders over there that are legitimate, that are not hunting around for people to initiate and to send them, you know, Orishas. I was once offered an Oya for $200 in the mail, and that they would tell me what to do once she got here. I just wanted y'all to know. Truth, very truth. So, everyone, I was waiting until a little music was up because I know that there is a delay. I do watch the delay over here, and I wanted to know if y'all have any comments, any additional comments from what we talked about in this podcast episode. And I hope I didn't make anyone angry. And this is coming from someone who's been through her own stuff. So I am not here to judge you in any way, shape, or form. I know what it is to go through stuff and you are in, like, you can't believe that you got scammed. You. Like, I sometimes like, well, how did I not know? when we look back and take a look at inventory, I couldn't have known. And I don't want that to be someone else. I want there to be so many resources out there that nobody will go through something like this. That would be great. So let me go check up on the chat, which may be, okay. I have to catch you from the beginning next time. Oh, it's okay. Don't worry. I see. So Baba Teju, by the way, y'all don't know, his videos are awesome. Let me see. Hold on a second. I see him more on TikTok. I'm doing the whole TikTok thing. I'm going to try to see if I find, I got to mute this tab because if not, you guys are going to hear it. So TikTok. I want y'all to see. So this man is an awo. And I love him so, so much because his channel, you'll know it's him because he'll never show his face. It's hysterical. But he will tell you, okay, so I am going to give him a shout out here because I absolutely enjoy his channel. His channel talks about, hold on a second. His channel, his channel talks about patakis, stories, and how you know you will have read because you'll probably just see one hand, and then he'll go. Let me see if I go back because I have two cameras going. Like you won't see him. You'll see this. And let me tell you a story about blah, 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 blah. And then he went to blah, blah, blah. And when he did, blah, blah, blah. And there, you know, you should be grateful. Like the Odu blah, blah, blah says. So if y'all see him, that's him. That's totally, totally him. Did I just like, hold on a second. I'm sorry. He's going to be cracking. So for all of you who want to see him, that's where you go. And I think we need to talk about also, and this I think would be probably a healthier way to approach this as well, because I don't want it to be just negatives. I want it to be also positives. And I think that we should have some episodes on how to know someone from there that is legitimate and how to cultivate that relationship. So that might be another way of approaching it. However, I cannot do that because that's not my story. So I may need to tap onto some of you who have gone through this and are able to say, this is how I met Baba so-and-so and blah, blah, blah. And this is what happened when I went to Nigeria. Like I heard some stories of people who have been to Nigeria and they've had to buy their water and buy everything in advance. Like everything was kind of predetermined, and that's how it rolled. So we do have both sides of the coin. We have the scammers that are just trying to eat you and your wallet, and here you are thinking that you're doing something great for your spirituality, and hey, we are here. So let me check on the live. Okay. I don't see any more or any questions, and I understand that there is a delay. It's like a big delay. I'm looking at both screens, and I'm like, whoa. So, yeah, okay, so let's see. Yeah, I think a lot of people are ready to go night-night, and I don't blame them. Let me tell you, this change of hours messed me up. Like, my kid and I, we came home and we was just like, like we were so wiped out. So yeah. All right. So I'm waiting to see if anyone else has any other comments. I want to open up the floor to everyone. And in the meantime, like, I don't know, I need like music. Let me see. I got to learn how to work my own equipment. Don't judge me. At least I'm trying. Okay, so we have this. Oh, you know what? I did have applause. We have meditation. Let's see. Look at that. We have meditation. Ooh. So, yeah, I think that we are ready to kind of close this out. And I'm leaving it open for people to say their comments. And even if you decide, you can put comments after the live is over, and I'll be sure to respond. But I just wanted to say thank you to everyone, and to return some time to you. And I thank you all for coming to this live, chatting with me. And I'm glad that it finally worked out. And now I'm starting to learn how to work these dang buttons. Just saying. So with this, I will say, you know what? I absolutely enjoyed this one. At least this worked out. And I can't thank you enough for sharing your time with me. All right. So I am going to close this out. And you have all of the links up there to support me, to support Baba Teju. By the way, the hands. Just look for hands. You'll know you've got the right channel because you'll never see a face. You'll see. And then Elegua did blah, blah, blah. You'll just see hands. Anyhow, I appreciate you all. And I just wanted to say, you know what? May your elevated ancestors, all of the Egons in your spiritual court, all of Orisha, all of the energies out there, may they be with you. I thank you. And let's do this again next week. So sign up once you see the thingamathing. I'm trying to still figure this out. Mwah! Love you all. And we are going to end this. And I love you much.